Hi, you already read the title, so let's talk. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about map queue, which is something that's I think almost entirely flown under the radar in terms of all the things that we've seen for Overwatch 2 and what is all getting hyped up. I think that this is something that needs to be talked about, and that I really personally would love 100% if it got added to the game just on my own behalf. Especially because, like, even if I go to play a game that is as much of a joke as it is, whenever I am very frustrated with Overwatch and have my little I'm gonna go play fucking paladins and give in to the other fucking monopoly. I'm gonna give in to fucking high res. I instead of, like, every time that I go to paladins, I look at their map queue system and I'm just grateful, because honestly, it's so much better in my opinion than the Overwatch. Excuse me. It's been a long day, but the Overwatch system of basically just getting thrown to the wolves. Now, let me explain what map queue is a little bit more in depth. Map queue is basically where, instead of, think of it in the same way that you would think of role queue, where as soon as you come out for wanting to play quick play or fucking comp or whatever, it then pops up a secondary screen saying what game mode do you want to queue for. So you can't pick you can't pick specific maps, but you can pick the mode, and with that, it gives you a better experience where it's like, realistically, I think many people can be in agreement that the game mode that is not very competitive in terms of a, like, synergy or whatever aspect, but more of just a fun game mode, is fucking Koth. And honestly, if I could realistically just go and play nothing but Koth, I would have a fucking field day. But a couple things, because it's worth mentioning that in this specific map queue, it's not affected by comp. In comp, there is no map queue, especially in paladins, as far as I remember, but it's for quick play, where it's like, if I am a casual someone that's wanting a very casual experience, then I think, because there's obviously still going to be the mode for, you know, what would normally be the flex, but in this case would be literally having anything to like whatever the game throws at you. But I mean, it would be the same thing, I think, as role queue, in terms of, you know, I don't know how it would do for queue times, but if you're thinking about it, it's like, I mean, a lot of people aren't going to play 2CP, but pardon me, but 2CP is already getting taken out. So with that being said, like, realistically, if I'm thinking statistically, if I'm Blizzard, or if I'm a dev working on the game, I realistically want every mode to feel fun. I want every mode to be, like, nice, very, like, but I want the stats to resemble that everything is, like, in balance, which obviously is unrealistic unless you have a very well balanced mode. And with that being said, you can then look at something like queue times and just be like, wow, the queue time for Koth is actually really long, but all the other ones are, like, the same. Then it's like, okay, what can we do to make the other modes as fun as Koth? Or maybe, is there a way that we could, like, shorten them? Because obviously we don't know what the statistics are going to be, or how much people are going to like push or whatever. But this is something that I just really want people to start looking at, and I want people to acknowledge, because this could be really big. I think it might be not exactly a change that we need, but it would be a really good quality of life change for someone, at least in my shoes, of being like, if I queue for quick play, there is, you know, I can maybe count on my hands the number of maps that I genuinely, like, when I queue, I want to see pop up. And I could also count on 3 sets of hands the amount of times that whenever I queue, get in lobbies with maps I don't want to be on. And this is not including Paris, this is not including Horizon, this is just in general. There's a lot of times that I'll queue for like quick play or some shit, and then I just have the deepest fucking sigh after seeing whatever map comes up, whether it's like, you know, a really quick queue time, and I know I just said that this doesn't pertain to this, but like if you get a really fast queue time and you're like only queuing DPS and then you see that it's Paris, then you're like, with this shit again. It's very odd, but I think it's something that could get changed, and I would want to see how it would do in the public's opinion, because I do think that they're like, by no means is this something that is like a flawless system. I think there is definitely room for improvement in it, and I would really like to see where Blizzard would take it, because right now it's just kind of a concept and it hasn't been elaborated upon or put in a way that is like, it hasn't really been messed with to the point that it's very, like, I don't even know, that it's very weird. But I think a lot of people could enjoy it, and that, I mean, that's the main thing that I've been thinking about in terms of Overwatch 2, because if I'm thinking of a big change and something that could really affect how much I like the game, how much I play the game, how much, like, I mean, just, it gives you a little bit more, like, quality control, because, like, right now, I think the biggest issue, obviously, is, like, queuing up for Quick Play or Arcade and getting in a Horizon Lunar Colony game or Paris, but outside of that, like, really sorry, but the quality control is, like, and what I mean by that is, like, you have no control over, like, the maps that you could get, whatever is possibly gonna show up on your screen for the loading screen. You have no control over it. And not saying you have to make it to where people have control over it, but it's just something I'm thinking about. So with that being said, I just wanted to kind of get this video out because I actually have another video that I mean, I'm still thinking about a whole bunch of different concepts for video series, as well as I have a lot of reviews to do. But earlier today I did a really, like, long video that was like an hour and like 45 minutes uncut of me just straight talking. So my voice is a little shot, so I want to give it a little bit of a rest, and just wanted to, I guess, kind of, and not really announce this, but just, like, bring this up in general, and then see if anyone else is, like, thinking about the same shit that I am. So with that being said, follow me on Twitter so you can know whenever I upload, and I will see you when I see you. Later.